tools which are built in the system help us follow a specific process, and we'll see more from a process setting perspective on how this can be achieved. For artifacts like test plans, test cases, test suites, test scripts, the results, review and approval process is inbuilt in the system, so you don't need an external review approval process. Multiple reviewers and approvals can be configured. These can be role-based. For example, if you wanted a tester to review and a test lead to approve the test case, that's possible. So you define two different roles, tester and test lead, and you define one review for the tester and one review for the test lead. You can have a general discussion for the artifact, or you can have a general discussion for each review and approval. You can enter the reasons why the review was approved or rejected, and a lot of things can be configured for review and approvals. From a workflow perspective, there is an inbuilt workflow available with the tool. The out-of-the-box workflow suggests every artifact is created in a draft state, and then you move to a ready for review state. When somebody approves it, it moves to an approved state, and from approved state either it can be reopened or it can be retired based on the process. But that's an out-of-the-box workflow which is available. This is again customizable, so you can tailor this to fit your requirements, and then you can assign different actions to happen when a state is reached. Let's go back to the system again and see some of this. I will go to the administrative side here to show some of these settings. So earlier what you saw in the browser was how every user would see Rational Quality Manager. The screen which you're seeing right now, it says Application Administration. This is where the admins configure the system. So now if I were to open, let's say, save of a test case, I configure my preconditions and follow-up actions for anything which happens on the Rational Quality Manager screen. So if I were to say I need approvals for somebody to be able to save a test case and move it from one state to another, I need approvals to happen. So I will add a transition group. Let's say I want somebody, when putting in an approved state, the approval type, I need at least one team member to review that, to approve that, and then one team contributor to approve that. So based on the role of which the user has, while adding an approval, while confirming an approval, I will have at least one person who's a team member and one person who's a team contributor. They will have to come and approve the test case. Similarly, what we were seeing in the workflows earlier on the slide deck, various artifacts like a test plan and until the results have their own workflows which you can define. You can choose the workflow to be edited and then add different states, add a new state to it, add the operations in which on what action, what is the target state. So like from a draft state, I can go only to a review state, under review state, right? When the action is, transition is ready for review. And similarly, for an approved state, I could either reopen or I can retire. So that's how you can configure and modify based on that. I've seen some users modifying this out of the box workflow to add a published state where they want to publish that test case to an external third party, or maybe publish it to the auditor as well. So those are the ways you can modify the out-of-the-box workflow and then add functionality based on your requirements. Okay. Let's look at the different audit requirements. What were the state of the executions and the e-signature?